Hello. Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Here we are. I'm here with Lucy and George. We're hanging. Hope you guys are doing okay. We're supposed to get a big thunderstorm here. I hope it won't really hit until the live stream's over. I think the worst of it is going to be between around 3 and 4 o'clock my time. So hopefully we're good because we could lose power or who knows. Anyway, if that happens, hopefully we'll have a good live stream until then. So welcome in all of you. I hope you're doing okay. Hi, Joni, and Katerina popped in to say hi, but she had to leave for dinner. Bonnie, welcome, and MC Anthony, both of you, welcome from Canada. Adeline, Toby, welcome in. Hi, Lena. You're cooking dinner? Bronwyn, hello from Australia. And Donna and Diana by the beach. Yeah, we're in the 70s here where I am in Ohio, but low 70s as a high. But the thing is we're having a storm coming in, so it's not really pleasant out there. But Maura, welcome. You're making creamy apple squares. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Rator. Good morning to you. Petra, I hope you saw I did post hopefully, Rator, you already saw the video I posted for my channel members this morning. So hopefully you saw that. Patricia, hi, John. Welcome in. Hi, Debs. Hi, Zaza. Hi, Tiffy. Welcome in. How come you have a shield now? Are you supposed to have a wrench? Aren't you my moderator? Anyway, you must be a member or something. But anyway, welcome in. Hi, Connie. Hi, Cynthia. I know. I got to probably start taking my Claritin. I have to take Claritin in the spring and the early summer because I have bad, especially, well, last year when I was in the UK in May, I had that horrible allergy to like tree pollen, which normally in the US, I don't have real bad tree pollen allergy, but I was really allergic to whatever was flying around London, let me tell you. Oh, you did see it, Rator. Good. Hi, Kate. Hi, Cynthia. Oh, sorry, I already saw you, Cynthia. Sharon, welcome in. Candace, you're in the Dordogne. Dordogne. I don't know how to say it properly. We had this conversation about it, I think, before I even went to France. Good thing I wasn't living there. Oh, welcome in for your first live stream, Candace. Bonjour. Bonjour. Trying to be frugal. Hello. Yes. Oh, Diana says, celebrating, had your quarterly brain scan yesterday. No reoccurrence and no new brain tumors. Yay, Diana. Totally great news. You should be celebrating. You should be celebrating. Hi, Leonelli. Hey, Happy Nessa. Oh, you're crocheting an Afghan? I love crocheting Afghans because they take a while. It's like a project. I was going to work on one last month and then I just didn't get the yarn. So, and remember, I'm doing no buy. So I have some yarn, but I don't have enough to do an Afghan. Hi, Judy. Welcome in. Hi, Kate from Norway. I know it is good news for Diana. So happy for you, Diana. Really. I just hope it just, the news continues to be good. That's what we want to hear. Muriel, welcome in. Oh, Claritin spikes blood pressure? Seriously. Well, I don't take Claritin D, I don't think. Just the normal? Well, which one is good to take? Because I have to take an antihistamine. There's no way I'm going to get through the pollen season without an antihistamine. Yes, Diana. Way to rock the balloons and the festive party things there. Hi, Jessica. Oh, Donna. Well, I hope it gets better in New York City. You guys sure got dumped on with the snow. Let me tell you. Hi, Juliana. Hi, Ileana. Guys, your names rhyme. Travels Addict, welcome in. Yeah, you're heading into winter, Kirby, as we head into spring. I know. I actually love winter. I've had a bunch of people in their comments and they say things to me like, well, you'll feel a lot better when it's warmer weather. No, I won't actually. I like the cold weather. I just don't like the snow. I don't like tons of snow, but I like cold. I have no problem with cold. I'd rather always be a little more cold than be hot. So no, I don't really look forward to summers. Spring is okay. Fall is good, but summer, no. I have to have the air conditioner on a lot in the summer. Oh, yes. Yeah, it is difficult without the yarn. That's true. I could still do several scarves. But now I'm not using the scarves because it's getting warmer. We're actually still going to have some cold days in the next couple weeks. It's still going to have days that are in the 30s. So, but we're getting, that little hint of spring, like I'm sure a bunch of you are. Oh, Candace, you're already having spring allergies in France. When I was in Perpignan last year at this time, I didn't have any problem yet. I think I started having a problem the end of I'm thinking it was the end of March or something. There was a tree in Perpignan that I had a little bit of an allergy to, and I can't remember what the tree was now. I think it's a plane tree, Plane, or something like that. Anyway, I did have that. Oh, yeah, because Claritin D is a decongestant. No, yeah, I know about that. I definitely can't take decongestants. I already know. I couldn't do that before. So, oh, thank you, Maya. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Well, you give me hope too. Thank you. Um, wow, it was already 80 in central Kentucky. I know. Yes, everyone. Thank you, MC Anthony. Yes, the time change, we're springing forward tomorrow. So don't forget that. I mean, your clocks, your computer and your phone are going to do the time change automatically. I don't think too many people have clocks they have to manually change anymore. Maybe they do. Everything I have basically, except for I think my stove clock, everything else manually changes it. I mean, automatically changes it. So I know this time last year I was in Perpignan. Seems like 5 years ago. But yes, it was only a year. And it was still exciting because it was fairly new. I think it was the first end of the first week I was there last year. Yeah, it's hard not to think about those days. I really did enjoy that. I enjoyed that first. Well, I enjoyed both Perpignan and I enjoyed Dijon. So those were until I had the tooth abscess. Then things were not as enjoyable. Oh, Bonnie, you do have clocks to change? Okay. Yeah, I don't wear a watch, so I don't have that problem. I know, Ritor, it does seem well, I just did that video on it, and it really does feel like I aged 5 years in 1 year. So oh, Maya, you're part of Elder Pals now. Thank you for your membership. I just posted a video there this morning. You get at least a video a month, and occasionally I'm going to try to post other photos and stuff on there. So, and there may be possibilities for other things coming on the membership thing. I don't want to promise anything right now, but I am thinking about it as because the membership's been growing and I'm thinking about doing, well, I'll just put it out there. I'm thinking about doing a dedicated live stream just for channel members. So like once a month. So we'll probably do something like that. Okay. I know. I'm tired, Teffy. I'm tired of the time changes. I just wish they'd keep the same frickin' time. You know, this has been going on. If you're around my age, it's been going on pretty much our whole lives, and I'm tired of it. Just, Joni, the no buying is going fine. I did have to buy gas to go out and do my expeditions this past week. I went out 2 days to do my expeditions for my filming for my other channel. And thank all of you that have already viewed the first video over there, kind of the introductory video. And there'll be a real video going up this Thursday on that channel. So yeah, so except for buying gas and, you know, a snack or something when I'm out doing that, yeah, it's going okay. Hi, Rick. Welcome in. Oh, British Columbia is ending the time changes. Tomorrow morning's the last one. You know what's weird? I lived in California for what, 6.5 years? And we even voted on it in one election. I don't remember when it was, but we voted on ending the frickin' time change in California. And yet they still kept doing it. And people voted for that. I mean, the ballot initiative or whatever passed, and yet they never got rid of the changing times. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, Diane, I was going to bring that up in a minute. That yeah, the gas already is going up, guys. Just buckle up. We're in for a ride right now. It's I don't want to get super political or anything here, but not happy about the current state of events, and I'm sure you guys aren't either. So anyway, and now I got to be driving more, so now I got to pay more for gas. Great, great. Well, I'm not driving too far initially for the first 2, 3 months. So, I mean, I'm not going to other states. So it's not going to be that bad, but yeah, yeah, we're definitely in for it. Oh, my friends in California, where gas is already high, you're really going to get it. Yes, Maya. Yes, to live in interesting times. Yes, we all need a group hug right now. Group hug. um, oh, for those of you that follow, this is so obscure because I know not everybody on here knows about them. But remember, I was talking about the Big Bear Eagles, Big Bear Lake in California that I've followed for years now. And we had some trauma yesterday because, well, a little scare because the female eagle disappeared for like, I don't know, almost about 18 hours. And her partner, Shadow, was beside himself. He's calling out for her. She's not there. He's having to sit on the eggs. They have 2 eggs. He's having to incubate the eggs all by himself. And he didn't hardly sleep last night, I don't think. That's what I heard. I wasn't awake all night myself, but I heard he really didn't sleep hardly at all. Well, Jackie came back this morning. So it's like, if I were Shadow, I would have lots of questions for her. Where the heck were you? Where did she go? Did somebody hold her hostage? I don't know. And see, the reason why we're all a little scared who watch eagles is that the Southwest Florida Eagles, their female eagle, who was known as F-23, she died just in the last week. So her mate, M15, who's probably one of the best most awesome dad eagles I've ever seen. They have one eaglet who was actually close to fledging the nest. And, but they discovered her body. Apparently, she was, you know how eagles sometimes will pick up roadkill or, an animal crossing the road or something. They'll swoop in and grab it, but they don't have a good lift off. Like they can't just suddenly like get out of the way. And so sometimes eagles do get hit by cars if they're picking up something from the road or something. Well, anyway, apparently F-23 in Florida, they found her body. She was killed by a car. So her mate is now grieving, and her little eaglet, who actually is almost grown, he's almost big enough, he or she is almost big enough to fledge. So at least she didn't have a really young eaglet in the nest. But yeah, so that's why I was extra worried about Jackie. Yes, Zaza, Jackie is back. I checked it right before I did the live stream because I was like, I'm going to have to tell him that we're worried. And then, yeah, she's back. So, but again, where the heck was she? Did she decide to go party? She's got eggs in the nest. She's got responsibilities. You guys are funny. Toy guy, I'm sorry, that's funny. Donnie says her mom was sick. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I will. I am the most, I mean, I really like the Southwest Florida Eagles. I had followed them for a few years, but my main Eagles have always been Jackie and Shadow. And so I'm like, ugh, I don't want anything happening to them. They've still got probably at least 10 years more to live. So we might check out at the same time. No, Patricia, this wasn't normal. It might have been her turn to hunt, but she was way out of the area. She wasn't even like responding to him when he was calling out to her. I mean, they don't go out for that long. She left about 11 something yesterday morning and then came back like after 6 this morning. And they don't hunt at night at all. So I don't know what was going on. But Shadow, I'm sure, had questions for her. If they have language, I mean, if their language is more sophisticated than I think it is, I'm sure he said, "Where the heck were you?" Poor guy, he's exhausted. Yes, that's true, Zaza. The Southwest Florida nest is right on a busy road. I mean, it's on private land, which is good. And so they have a pond there, and they're protected to some degree in the sense that nobody can just go right up to the tree or something. But yeah, it's right by a busy road. And I bet, of course, they found her about 4 miles away. So she wasn't hunting on that road. She was killed somewhere else. But Rick, you're too funny. Yeah, we can laugh now because she's fine. Yeah, that's true. Teffy, some birds get tagged, but Jackie and Shadow are not tagged. And so they have no way to know. And I don't think the eagle, the F-23, was tagged. The only reason I mean, they're not 100% sure it's her, but it seems like her. I mean, they do have ways to identify them. And but they don't always tag eagles. I'm not really sure why. I think it may depend on the state and what their policies are. I don't know. Oh, Toby. Yeah. Well, if you want to get back into watching them, just look up Big Bear Eagles and watch the live feed. Oh, I know Zaza. Shadow's an incredible dad. He and the M15 in Florida, those two are like the best eagle dads I've seen. I mean, M15, 2 years ago, raised his two eaglets. The mom, Harriet, died. Well, she disappeared. They don't know what happened to her, but she was gone. She never came back. And I was just thinking, if we were doing a true crime story about, eagle psychopaths, M15 has lost two mates under suspicious circumstances, is all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm joking, obviously. It doesn't happen. Zaza's sharing that there was a death due to a banding getting caught and the bird dying, so they don't generally. Yeah, I've heard that they really don't do that anymore. It's rare. So, hi Shirley, welcome in. I do. Well, the Eagles take my mind off the bad stuff in the world right now. So I really do like watching me some Eagles because, they live in their own little world. They don't know everything that's going on. And, but anyway, back to M15. I have to finish this story. So M15 lost his previous mate, Harriet, and they had two relatively, they were maybe 2-3 weeks old eaglets in the nest. He took care of those eaglets till they fledged. They both survived. And it was all M15, all the dad. Can you even imagine he was able to do that? That's a lot of work for one eagle. He had to bring them, fish or other types of food. He had to make sure he was always nearby, and protect them. Like he was on the clock all the time. So hats off to him. Hi, Catherine. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yes, I know, John. It does sound like a job for the pet detective. Yes. No, M15's, it was a great eagle dad, but it is weird that tragedies have befallen his last two mates. I just say that. It's weird. Inquiring minds want to know. Hi, Sempredoli. Ciao a tutti. Oh, that's fine. Welcome in. Anyway, enough about the Eagles. So, but we're all happy. Well, even those of you that don't follow them. Hopefully, I'm turning some of you on to following them because it really is very zen just tuning into the live Eagle cam and just watching them, sitting on the nest, changing position. The mom goes off, the dad comes in and picks up the egg duty. It's great. All right, so this week I have been a lot busier with the extra channel. And it's going to slow down after another couple weeks because I'm just trying to stockpile a bunch of footage. But yeah, I was out twice this week on expeditions, I call them. And it was fun. I started finally getting in the groove. Like it was probably the fourth time I've actually totally been out filming, and I finally hit my groove. So I'm enjoying it because I really do. I love the history of these places, and I just like, I like going and having a routine. It's very different kind of channel than running my normal Elder Gal channel, and I like that because it kind of it's a different mindset. I'm going out there really like looking for positive things and just trying to discover new things about little towns, and it's fun. I enjoyed, my mother, I don't know if I ever shared this with you, but my mother's the one that instilled in me this real love of going out and just going for small day trips kind of thing. We used to do it all the time when I was a teenager. And this is after my dad died. I grew up in a suitcase anyway because I grew up traveling. But when I was a teenager, we used to just take off on a Friday afternoon after school. She'd just say, "Hey, I'm going to pick you up after school today. I'll pack you a bag. We'll take off." And we would just take off for like 2 nights on the weekend and come back on Sunday. And we would just go somewhere. We'd go up into Pennsylvania or up into upstate New York, or we'd go down into Virginia, North Carolina. Like we just we did this a lot. And so my mother loved exploring places. She just was always interested in, like, she never had like a formal education really as like a higher education, but she always loved that. So yes, Rick, I will be hitting that eventually. I know where you're talking about an alliance. Yes. Oh yeah. Well, you think true frugal. Yeah, I get you. That's what I mean. Like that's why I had to change the name of that channel, and that's why I had to take off my old spirit videos, because you confuse the algorithm if YouTube does not understand what you're really about. And so, because I mean, even on here, I've confused the algorithm a couple times. I started the channel blew up when I was just older person talking about being old and alone and poor and whatever. And then I was going to Europe, and then that confused the algorithm. And then I come back from Europe, and that confused the algorithm again. And then so the thing is that you do better with a channel when it's very clear what it is. And so on this other channel that I'm doing, the expedition, I just thought I gotta just hone in. And for those of you, in case I haven't explained it before, oh, thanks, Lena, for saying that. But in case I haven't explained it before, the travel channel is not just for seniors. It's only elder gal expeditions because I'm the elder gal doing it. But that doesn't mean that I'm covering it for seniors. It's because I think I had some people were, I guess, hoping that I would do that or whatever. But no, I'm trying to reach a larger audience, which is just anybody that likes going to small towns. That's really what it's about. And so but no, a lot of the travel channels do really well. I've always watched a lot of travel stuff. So most of them actually do pretty well. I don't expect mine to like massively take off, but as long as it provides an extra, supplement to what Elder Gal already does, that's great. Then I don't have to worry so much. So but yeah, I'm not focusing on seniors, citizen stuff in these videos. It's really just about, you go to these towns and like, what's my impression of the town? What's the old part of the town look like? I usually comment on architectural stuff. I drive through neighborhoods to see what the houses are like, if there's a lot of for sale signs. I'm looking for like how many people really seem to be in the town, and then, eventually, sometimes I will stop in and eat somewhere, especially because I am curious about the diners that are along, especially Route 30. I actually only found one old diner, but it was closed. I mean, it was shut down. So I don't know how many diners are operating, but I will be keeping my eyes out for that. So I will be stopping in and things like that. And I will occasionally go to like uh to a place in the town. These are small towns. These are not big cities. But a place that is, that the town is known for. I will be highlighting that. I also get into old train stations, so I enjoy going and seeing those. And so it's just, but it's not, it can be anybody of any age would enjoy the same thing. It's not, it just anybody that's into history and little towns, little town America, and really trying to figure out, is the town doing well or is it struggling? The first video that comes up this week, I'll give you a little teaser on it. The town I went and visited, I have to say, to me, I know it's technically probably doing okay, but to me, it looks like it's a town on the decline. And so it was kind of depressing going to it. The other three I've already filmed. I was much more upbeat about, or a little bit more upbeat about. So, oh, Juliana, that's nice. Yes, Lena and Kathy both like the diners thing. Yeah, if I can find diners. I like I said, there is a diner that was in one of the places, but it was already had been shut down a long time ago, it looked like to me. So that's kind of sad. And it was one of those old-fashioned ones that was probably from the 20s or 30s. Because remember, Route 30 that I'm initially covering, um, US 30 was started in 1913, and then a lot of it, the expansion was in the 1920s. So a lot of these diners go back to as early as the 20s, which is kind of cool. Yeah. Hi, Ciara. Salut. Welcome in. Hi, Gary. Well, Rick, where I'm going, there's not a lot of truckers. That's not a big, well, I guess that there are some trucks on that road, but it's not a big truck route. And I'm not going, like, I'm not really covering like interstate type stuff. So probably won't run into truckers. Yes, the Lincoln Highway. Yes. And it's really cool because it's just like Route 66 in this respect. Because I've driven along a lot of Route 66 before in days before I wasn't filming back then. But I've done a lot of Route 66. And there's always these little signs that tell you to turn here for the actual Route 66 because the road you're on was like, basically added later. In other words, they revised it. And so if you really want to do the real experience, you get off on these little roads, which is interesting. So yeah, the Lincoln Highway, which is the original name of it, of the 30, was, yeah, it went through all sorts of little places. So, but yeah, I didn't know anything about the US 30 till I came here. Had no idea. And it's related to the US 50, which is in Nevada, which is called the loneliest road highway in America because it's very desolate. But that was part of the original 30. And then they renamed it the 50 later on. But so it's really kind of cool. Oh no, did you just slice your finger, Juliana? Uh-oh. Don't take care of it. Oh, yes, Toby. I'm very familiar with Williams, Arizona, because I used to live in Flagstaff. I've been over to Williams many, many times. Yeah, yeah. I've been along the whole Route 66 that you can go on in Arizona. I've been through parts of it in New Mexico, but then it goes up into, I haven't done the part that goes up into like Colorado and then then it winds its way up to Chicago. I haven't been to a lot of that. So someday I would like to do the whole 66. But I didn't realize this 30 was a thing. I'm like, hello, it's older than Route 66. So hi, Sonata, welcome in. Anyway, so I had a fun week and I'm going to enjoy doing this new channel stuff. I have to budget my time really well, though I'm definitely going to be working more hours doing the two channels. I am only doing one video a week on the explore channel. So I won't be a tremendous amount of work as I go along with it. But if that channel starts to take off, I may do 2 videos a week over there. So we'll just have to see. But I enjoy what I'm doing so far. So, we'll see. If the viewership increases and the YouTube money increases, then I'll be able to go further places and, spend some overnights and, do that kind of thing. Yeah, my first series is on this parts of the US 30. I'm basically just covering kind of the eastern half of the US 30 initially. And then I'm going to move to the Amish country towns. And then I'm going to be doing those, and that'll be a series. And then I'll probably, I don't know what I'll go to at that point. I might actually go up and do the towns along Lake Erie, the small towns, and I might do that. So that's kind of my hypothesis so far for that channel. Oh, I seem healthier than I am. Believe me, it's a struggle. But you have to push through things. You just do. And you have to find what gives you joy. And it still gives me joy to go and discover places. So that's what I like doing. And so, oh, that's exciting, Ciara. You drove from Charlotte, North Carolina to Los Angeles back in the day. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've driven across country before. I've just never driven the whole Route 66. Um, I've driven across country several times when I was younger. Cynthia says I'm a tiny travels road trip gal. I know. Yeah, I know. I like that, tiny travels. That's cute. Oh yeah, I've already been doing my research on the Amish towns, and yeah, I'm going to be eating there. I'm going to be eating there. They have good food. So Rick, I hear you on that. I one thing I don't enjoy. I used to be a person that could drive all the time, and it didn't even phase me, even through cities and stuff like that. I do not enjoy dealing with city traffic anymore. I really don't. It's why I didn't really want to live in a big city or anything again. Um, I just don't enjoy the super amount of traffic. Where I have to go right now, I'm not dealing with tons of traffic. I mean, some, but not like you have around the really big cities. So I'm trying to steer clear of that stuff, right? Doing this channel as much as possible because I really don't enjoy it. I mean, at some point in time, when I start going like further places, I am going to have to end up going around big cities, but I don't really enjoy it anymore. John, interesting. Oh, I'm hoping we don't get a tornado today here. The thunderstorm's probably it's supposed to be pretty intense for about an hour or so, and I know that there's always a potential for tornadoes. So I'm just hoping no tornadoes. Good thing I live on the ground floor of a two-story building, I guess. I don't know if that helps. There's no basement to go to, though. I know that. Oh, yes, T. Marie. We already talked about Jackie. Yeah, I already gave them the word that she was okay. Still don't understand where she went, but we know she's okay. Cynthia, yes, it is quiet in my building. I really do enjoy it for the most part because yeah, it's pretty quiet. People are quiet. I don't run into people a lot. Well, in the winter, I don't. I mean, when the weather gets better, I'll probably see more of my neighbors, but it's pretty quiet. Yeah. The loudest thing in the winter is the furnace, which is really noisy. But but now that that's winding down, yeah, it's pretty quiet here. Well, except for the road noise. I do have the cars going by, which I've been talking to you about since I moved in. But it doesn't really phase me anymore. I mean, I know technically I hear it, but I've kind of tuned it out. So busy time at night, there's hardly any cars out there, so it's not a problem. But in the daytime, like right now, tons of cars going by. Thank you, Diane. Yes, so my bathroom would be a good option because it doesn't have any windows. Yeah, I could do that. Great. Well, I'm just saying, Sonata. Yeah, I mean, I live in the part of the country where technically you can get tornadoes. I mean, I don't think we are like get as many as some parts of the Midwest, but I mean, we could get them. So anytime you're expecting severe thunderstorms, there's always a risk. You never know. So oh no, I don't have a van, MC Anthony. I have a mini SUV. And it's not super, it would not be super comfortable to sleep in. So no. For now, I'm just doing day trips. I can get up to Lake Erie and do just a day, film probably 2, 3 little towns in one day. I'm getting, as I get better at knowing how to film this and just get efficient with it, I can do at least two towns a day if they're close to each other. So I wish I had a bigger vehicle to do that in MC Anthony, but I had to get what I could get that was going to work for me. I'm in a rural area, Cynthia. Again, I do not disclose exactly where I'm at, but I mean there are tons of, I mean there are a lot of big cities in Ohio, so there's always a big city within, like, I don't know, 40 minutes of me, I guess is the way to say it. Oh, Sonata, I'm glad you started watching them. Well, except Jackie gave us a scare, and let's hope something doesn't happen to her still. Yeah, there are cars going by, Ileana, but because I have my microphone here, it kind of cuts down on the ambient noise a bit. So, hi, James, welcome in. Yes, I noticed the price of gas changing already just on when I was out Wednesday. I had to gas up in the town I went to, and on the way back, and yeah, gas was already like 30 cents a gallon more. I'm sure it's gone up since then. I don't have to fill up again probably till maybe another week or so, but yeah, it's gone up. Yes, EG's like on the road. Yeah, I'm such a Jack Kerouac, Jim. I wish. That's funny though. Oh, Ciara, I feel bad for you with the gas prices in San Diego. Man, it must be really bad. You guys are going to be my predict. Well, I don't know when this is going to end. It's a bad situation all around. But yeah, I think in California your prices could go up to $7 a gallon easy, right? I don't know what it's at right now, but it could go up. Here it's about 3.40 a gallon right now where I'm at. Teffy, I'm not sure. Lucy may go along sometimes, but she's not going to always go along. She doesn't really like to be away from George. And I thought George was going to have to, go into, slumber for till the fall again or something. But no, they're fast friends. So, she's kind of got a little bit of an attitude where she doesn't want to travel without him. And I'm like, I'm not taking two of you. Okay. So that's right. I am talking about you guys back there. I can see you looking at me. Yeah. Oh, I've seen those, Joni. It is, yeah. Kathy says several of our gas stations in California desert are out of gas. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's the other concern is there might be gas shortages. I don't know, I we're in crazy land right now, guys. I don't know what to tell you. So buckle up. That's why I'm trying to get my filming. I'm going to go out Monday and film again. I'm trying to get several places filmed ahead of time so that I've got, enough to put up for a few weeks because I may not be able to go out all the time, There may be gas shortages, who knows? Rick says you could get George and Lucy a cute little twin car seat. Yeah, I would look like a nut on the road doing that. Can you see it? People would say that woman is crazy. No, Suzanne. Yeah, the car sounds are no, it's cars going by. The road is really close and it's a very busy road. So, I mean, it's a road that goes out of town. So it takes you to the next towns. So it's a very busy road. And especially on the weekends, especially during rush hour. Um, Yeah, Cynthia, I know. I don't want to get into it too much here, guys, but yeah, I think we're all wishing we were going to be safe, but who knows? This is one of those things that if you don't have control over it, you just have to do the best you can, focus on what you can control, and that's it. That's all you can do. I know. I hear you, Ciara. Oh, I know. Well, I will share this that I was watching some vlogs from Americans that are over in like the UAE and in Qatar and places like that got caught in the middle of this because they didn't know that they were going to get bombed over there in those countries. And so and then they closed the airports in several places. So people have had a hard time getting out of there, out of the Middle East, and I will criticize. I will say this: that the U.S. has not been helping its own citizens, but big surprise. Um, so it's just that's very scary. We've got a lot of Americans that are not even talking about the military at this point, but just just citizens that are in harm's way through no fault of their own right now. So that's scary. Yeah, Jim, I know. Oh, gas 378 in Georgia. Well, you're higher than we are, but I think we're all going to be over $4 a gallon very soon. Everybody, at least $4 a gallon. So I think that's where it's going. I remember the old days. Remember in the 70s when they had the big, first of all, we had a gas shortage, fuel shortage, and you had to line up at the stations. I remember that, late 70s. And I remember other gas surges in price. So it's happened before. Oh, I know, Teffy. I know. Electric cars, though, I mean, everything has their downside. On an electric car, it's really hard to have one unless you have like a home you can plug it into, because otherwise you're having to go out to these charging stations and not all of them cover the same kind of cars and stuff. So it can be a hassle, and plus they're more expensive, electric cars for the most part. So, well, some of them are. Jim says we had nothing to offer. We have lots of gas. Actually, the US has lots of gas. The interesting thing about all this is every time there's some sort of problem in the Middle East, and I mean, I'm talking about in the past even, there was always gas. Yeah, gas prices went up, gas shortages. And yet, from everything I have read and understood for the last 20 years, the US produces most of the gas that we use. So, why are our prices going up? Maybe you guys are more expert on this than I am. So I am the first to say I'm not a complete expert on energy consumption and production, but I don't understand. I understand the Straits of Hormuz are closed and they basically can't get the tankers through there because they can't get insurance because it's a freaking war zone. And I get that part of it, but I don't understand because I have understood that the US produces a large percentage of the gas we use ourselves, that we don't even get it from other parts of the world. So then why? I know some of you are saying why. Greed. Yeah, it's called greed. Yeah. Yep. Oh, is that it? T-Cash. See, T-Cash is giving us some info. It says, from what I understand, we are an exporter nation of oil, but the type we need, which is sweet crude, must be imported. Really? Okay. All righty. I'll trust you on that. You sound like you know what you're talking about there. So I'm gonna defer to you. Um, yeah. Anyway, I hope we get through all this. Wow, it's getting really dark outside. This thunderstorm's moving in. Hopefully we can get through about another half hour on here on the thing, on the thing, the live stream. It's called, Allison. It's called a live stream. All right. So, you guys have any questions or thoughts or something you'd like to talk about on here? Bring it up now. That's true, Wineman. It is an international market. I realize that, but still, there's a lot of greed involved too. Yeah. Oh, welcome in. Truth has died. I love that. Sempredely, yes. Just for another day. Tomorrow that we have a time change. We spring forward. I do like Indian food, Happy Nessa. I haven't had Indian food in I can't even tell you when. I love Indian food. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's something I would eat all the time, but I really do enjoy Indian food. And when I can find a good Indian food restaurant that is not, 2 hours away from me, which I think most of would have to go far afield to find Indian food where I am. But I do like Indian food. I ate a lot of it in the 1980s. Um, so that's where I developed my enjoyment of Indian. I love uh, what is the type of chicken? Tandoori chicken. I love garlic naan. I love pretty much anything curry, although it has to be mild. I can't eat like super spicy food, but yeah. Oh, Happy Nessa. Oh, your husband's from India. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's good food. And that turmeric is good for you. Reduces inflammation in the body. So let's talk food. I know somebody asked a food question, and there we go. Oh, Teffy says Europe springs forward at the end of March. Okay. So yeah, there'll be a time difference starting tomorrow for us in the US versus some of you viewers in Europe. So I don't know much about that jobs thing, Joni, except that it was bad news. A bunch of you love Indian food. Good. Joni, I was not a big fan overall of food in Russia. I like chicken Kiev. I do not like borscht. The beet soup, no, no, that just grosses me out looking at that. But yeah, I do. I like chicken Kiev. In fact, when I went to the Soviet Union back in 1976, I had told our tour guide that she was asking some of us like what we would like to eat and stuff over there, and I said, "Oh, could we have chicken Kiev?" Because at that time, Kiev, which is now Kyiv, was part of the Soviet Union back in those days. And but anyway, they made it for us on our last night at the hotel we were staying at. They made chicken Kiev. I do love that, and used to make it. I used to know how to make it. So yes. Oh yes, I saw it, Juliana. I have not read through it yet. I saw though that you sent it. Cranston, no, I do not like sushi. I'm one of those people that no interest in sushi. No, grosses me out just to look at. I am a picky eater, so but that just no. I know, Teffy. I do eat beef. I eat beetroot gummies for my blood pressure, but no, I'm not eating the beet soup. Sorry. Uh, no, we didn't get I here we didn't only got a dusting of snow, T Cash, on that snowstorm. We did not get the big snow you guys got. It did not hit us here in Ohio. So, no, I think we got a little dusting, maybe not even an inch. So, we only had one bad snow this year where I live. That one, and it was like 15 inches of snow, but that was it. So, Joni, no, I don't have the Russian hat in arm's length here right now. So, uh, yeah, people either really love sushi or they can't stand it. I usually find that most people are not like on the fence about it. So, Sonata, you've been looking for Cadbury eggs and your grocery store didn't have them. That is a travesty. That is a travesty. I'm trying to pace myself. I try to eat only a few a week right now, like 4 or 5 Cadbury eggs in a week. I'm trying not to OD on these things because they are so good. So good. I've always loved them. I remember when they first came out, like gazillion years ago. And you can only get them like between like January and Easter. So Suzanne got Termer ginger. You mean gummies, not mummies? Suzanne. Yeah, now don't OD on those things. You can't, everything in moderation, people. You can, they have done studies that you can't eat too much turmeric. So you don't want to OD too much on the turmeric. It's good for you, but like everything else in moderation. Wow, T Cash, they're still plowing out your place near Cape Cod. Oh my God. Yeah, you guys got nailed on the East Coast in New England, like nailed. Wow. Ciara, no, not really. I'm still eating less chocolate than I used to, but I still enjoy a really good piece of chocolate once in a while. I just don't have it as much as I used to, I guess is the way to say it. Hi, Ouija. Welcome in from the Netherlands. Yeah, ginger is really good for your digestive system. Yes. You guys are getting hungry. See, I already ate lunch. I just had an egg salad sandwich for lunch. So I had a really simple lunch today. Made my own hard boiled eggs, and then I put that on wheat bread with some mayo. It's very simple, but very good. James, are you behind the 8 ball now? What is the significance of the 8 ball emojis for you? I hope you're doing okay. Are those good, John? Where do you buy those? At the regular grocery store? I should try that stuff like that. That gives me a little bit of a sweet treat without it being really bad for me. I do love ginger. Oh, you're talking to Kathy, Ciara. Sorry. No, I do. I love the taste of ginger. I like once in a while. I love having a ginger ale. Like it's just. I think because I grew up occasionally having that. Oh, they're eyeballs, James. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. John Mark is in here. Hope he's okay. He's probably eating. Yeah, you're right, Sonata. Hi, Miss Gogi. You caught us. We're gonna go for maybe up to another half an hour. We'll see. Oh, you can get them on Amazon. I bet you can get them at the store too. Toby, you're making meatloaf today with mushroom gravy. Sounds good. I'm very picky about meatloaf, though. Gee, surprise. EG is picky about food. I am. I'm a very picky eater about meatloaf. It has to just be it just has to be meatloaf. It just hits me right, because I've had many bad meatloaves in my life. So oh, Ciara is asking, what are my plans for the coming week? I did not go to the senior center this week because I walked outside. When I go on my expeditions, I walk doing that. And then I walked outside because it was nice this week. So I did not go to the senior center. Um, Probably will, though, this week at least once, maybe twice, because as long as I can walk outside, I don't go. And the weather's been I mean, the weather's pretty nice, except I wouldn't walk out in the thunderstorm today. But yeah, I probably will this coming week. I just don't know if it'll just be once or maybe more than once. No, T Cash, that's why I was wondering about the 8 ball. I don't know. I didn't know what he meant by that. So don't know, Teffy, if there are apple orchards in Ohio. Do I have my resident Ohioans here that can tell me if they have a lot of apple orchards in Ohio? I would assume I know there are apple trees. I just don't know if there's like good size orchards. I don't have Lidl. I have Aldi. Bonnie eats her homemade Quaker oat recipe. Yeah, I like oats in meatloaf. I used to make it like that. It is good. Yeah. I don't think I've had ginger beer, Ciara, but I know it's not alcoholic. Oh, I do have AAA, James. Yes, I do. The minute I got my car, I ordered a AAA membership. So I am all set. Oh, Toby's using Italian sausage and ground beef. Interesting. MC Anthony, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that is that up in Cleveland? Possibly. I mean, at some point, I'll probably go. Like I said, I'm not really big on the big cities, but I might go to that. I would be interested in going to that. For instance, in Canton, Ohio, there's a football Hall of Fame, and I'm just not into football anymore, so I don't have any interest in going to that. But but yeah, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I think I'd be interested in. Yes, okay. Diane says there are apple orchards in Ohio. Okay. Yes, Teffy, I have been playing guitar. I'm on a routine now where I play every other day because I'm still trying to build up my fingers. I wasn't doing a lot for a while, and it's still a little bit of a slog for me to do because my fingers get sore after about 6 songs. But yeah, I'm trying to build up so I can do at least 10 songs at a time, and you know, got some ideas for writing new songs. So eventually I might share something with you guys on here or something like that. So we'll see. I'm not going to promise anything because I can't do songs that are copyrighted by other artists because then they'll demonetize my live stream. So we can't have that. And but we'll see. But yes, I am practicing guitar. Good thing I know a lot of songs. I mean, I knew a lot of songs. At one time, I knew about 50 songs by heart. I think it's down to about 25 now because I haven't played some of them in so long, but I know quite a few songs still. Jim, no, I probably wouldn't be interested in that either. Oh, definitely not interested in riding coasters, Diane. No, I'm not a roller coaster person at all. No, Sierra, I'm not interested in doing a gig with the guitar. I'm past those days. I just don't. I just play for myself. I enjoy it. It relaxes me. It's like a type of meditation for me. So, but no, I'm not planning on performing anywhere. Well, I'm going to go into Michigan at some point, T Cash. I don't think I'm going to go into Detroit probably. Because again, if I go into Michigan, it's mostly to go to small town Michigan. Um, Thank you, Teffy. But yeah, we'll see. Oh, I know gas is always more expensive in Europe than in the US. You know, we've still had some of the cheapest gas in the world for a long time. So, of course, not now. Diane. Yeah, well, if I did a coaster video, Diane, it would be EG is dying at this moment. EG is dying on the coaster. That's about what it would feel like. So no, no, I wouldn't be filming that. I told you the story how my dad took me on my first roller coaster when I was 9 years old. If I already told you that, sorry, I'll quickly tell it again. So I had never been on a roller coaster before, and we were living in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and they had a big amusement park there with one of the tallest wooden coasters at that time on the East Coast, I guess. And my dad, who was never, he loved doing anything daredevil. You know, he was a pilot. He did all kinds of sports stuff. He always took risks. And he was like, yeah, well, he says, why don't you bring a friend from school? I had a girlfriend from school. He was, bring a friend and I'll treat you guys we'll go to the amusement park. So we go out to the amusement park and it's right on the ocean. In fact, they used that amusement park for a movie and they blew up that roller coaster that I got scared on. And I was happy to see it blown up. I mean, I was just happy. I was like, thank you for blowing that thing up. So anyway, my dad, we get on the coaster and I'm in the middle. I still remember exactly how we were sitting. I'm in the middle of my dad's on my left, my friend is on my right. I think she had been on a roller coaster before, and we go off on that roller coaster. And I mean, it was a really tall, wooden, old style wooden coaster. And we hit that first drop, and I just started scream, not a good scream. It was like, get me off this thing, scream. And then I kept saying it, get me off this thing. And of course, I couldn't until it finished, got to the end. And we get off, and I was green. I was just green in the face. And my dad felt so bad. Oh, he felt so bad. Because, I mean, to him, it was nothing. But he realized to me, that was just, and so he spent the whole rest of the day apologizing. He said, I'll never make you get on another roller coaster again. And I go, thank you, Dad. We went on some other kinds of rides and they were fine because it was not a roller coaster. But no, couldn't handle it. Just couldn't handle it. So and I felt that way the whole time. I've been on a few log flume rides as an adult. Still bad. Anytime I do that dropping thing, it's a bad thing. So my stomach is not built for that. Yeah, I'm not going to be going into Akron though, Valerie. It's too big of a city. Remember, I'm not going to big towns, big cities. I'm going to small places. But thank you. Oh, yeah. Well, you enjoy that, toy guy. Hi, love. I can't understand what you're saying because there's no automatic way I can translate that. I think you're talking about roller coasters, though. Ciara says, I hope when you do. Oh, I missed that. I'm trying to get up and look at your comment. I missed a comment from Ciara that I wanted to see. Oh, hoping you do your travel, you talk with some of the locals. Yeah, I won't be putting people on camera, but yeah, I do talk to people when I go places if I can. I mean, the places I've gone so far, honestly, really haven't. There's not a lot of people around, so But yeah, I might talk to people to get a sense of, what's because I'll ask them like, what's it like living here? And like, is there anything you think is really notable about your town? And, just stuff like that. John, I have no, I would not presume to hunt mushrooms. To me, that's just a dangerous game for someone like me who doesn't know one good mushroom from a bad mushroom. So I'm not a aficionado enough to know the difference. Oh, yeah, I didn't blame my dad. My dad didn't know Waterman. Yeah, and my dad was such a sensitive soul. He hated, he would last thing in the world was to he would never have wanted to traumatize me. I think he really thought I would like it. Like he just didn't know. Oh, love, there you go. You wrote it in Spanish. Oh, that's what I thought. I thought you were talking. I could kind of make out some of the words. Okay, amusement parks and you love roller coasters. Yeah, I wish I did. I just don't. Just well, if I don't know Waterman, I'm not going to promise that. You see, when you're interviewing people for a channel, you have to get like you have to do a release and get their written permission. There's a lot of things you don't see when you watch people's videos that you don't realize what you have to do for that. Um, I'm a little gun shy about doing that just because I don't know. I guess maybe nowadays it's not as big a deal with social media as it used to be, but um, it just, I don't really like bugging people about an interview kind of thing unless I mean I am an anthropologist. I've done tons of interviews with people when I was going to school for anthropology, but there's just a lot of you got to cross your T's and dot your I's really well. And I'll tell you why I feel that way is because years ago, I wrote a book when I was living in Seattle, and it was a wedding book. It was basically about places you could go to have your wedding, and it was a guidebook kind of thing. Well, I did something just out of ignorance, didn't realize it was a thing. I went to this one venue and they were having a wedding gown fashion show. And I had my boyfriend at the time was my photographer for the book. We both worked on this book. And he took pictures of these wedding gowns, being worn by the models coming down the thing. And we didn't think anything of it. We included one picture in the whole book where, it caused us a problem and we didn't get a release or anything because it was the public was at this show. It wasn't like a closed thing. Anyway, he had taken a picture and we ended up putting it in the book. And I ended up getting sued for that because I didn't think about, because I thought they were just, like it was almost like an amateur kind of fashion show. But no, this was a professional model that he happened to take a picture of, and she sued my butt. Of course, I was able to get out of it, and I think I only had to pay her a couple $100 or something like that. But because I was poor, I wasn't making like a lot of money on this book or anything. But I had to get this like attorney for the arts that would basically do the work pro bono to just get represented. And it was a horrible scene. So it's made me very gun shy about like filming somebody. And I know you have to get releases because if you don't, they could sue you. So it just makes me a little bit nervous about doing it. But I'm not saying I'll never do it. I'm just saying I'm not going to do it initially. Oh, that's fine, love. Oh, probably John, but again, it's not my thing. I don't think I would. I am never going to eat a mysterious mushroom. I'll just say that. Yeah, I do like talking. Usually if I go to a restaurant, I always chat with the server about like if they're from there or something like that. I always end up chatting with them in some way. So, Yeah, I don't have a problem with just chatting with people, but putting them in the video is a whole other realm. So, yeah. But I love watching channels that do interviews with people. I mean, they've made it that is part of what they do for their channel, and they've made it work for them, and I guess it's worked out fine. But, we live in a sue happy society, even more so now than ever before, and so it just makes me really nervous to, like, do that. So yes, Ileana, some people do react in unexpected ways too, yeah. Well, then you just don't use the footage. I mean, unless you're doing something live. Um, but yeah. But that's not, I there's several channels that do more the video that I'm going to be doing, type of video that I'm doing, where they're not going and interviewing people, and that's really not my aim initially. Now it could turn in that direction at some point, but um no, Ciara. No, they can't do that. But I also would never, but you can't use like their actual name. You can't show an image of them. Yeah, if people just tell me something and I could say, hey, a local just told me this story, then it's not identifying them. So no, they can't sue you for that. But Joni, I have not been watching movies lately. I have been busy. And so I haven't had a lot of time to be watching movies, though I know haven't seen any. I don't go to the movies anymore. So too expensive. And I don't really enjoy going to theaters anymore. And we only have two screens in my whole town. So, and they usually show, and I hate to say this, stupid movies. So, I, but I do watch things, on streaming and stuff. Hi, Cheryl. Yes. Well, I hope you're subscribed over there on Elder Gal Explorers. The first town I'm covering will be this coming Thursday. Hi, Salem Shadow. Okay. Wow, it's getting windy outside. I'm looking out there. Things are the dry leaves that are still left are blowing around. It's not looking too dark in the sky though. Hopefully we won't get the worst of it here. Yes. Oh, guys, we're only at 130 thumbs up. What happened? We got to get that up there. I think there's a bunch of you have not hit that like thing. Please do that. Thank you. Okay, Juliana, that's quite a story. Yeah, that sounds traumatic, actually. Wouldn't make me want to go look for mushrooms in the forest again, I can tell you that. Yeah. Yeah, well, some of you are, you know how to look for the mushrooms. I don't, it's not a thing for me. I appreciate you bringing it up, though. Yeah. I've seen too many movies and things in my life where somebody dies because they ate poisonous mushrooms by mistake. I'm like, no, I get my mushrooms at the store. That's where I get them. And I used to eat more mushrooms than I do now, actually. I do have mushrooms. I've been eating, you'll be happy to know, guys. Well, let me answer Cheryl's question first. I don't know if it's helping. I think it is because Cheryl, my last video on Elder Gal has done better. It's done the best in the last 3 months. So I think that helped. So it certainly is not hurting. Anyway, back to what I was going to talk about. Uh, I have been eating at least twice a week now. I have like a Caesar salad for lunch with mushrooms in it, diced mushrooms, and hard boiled egg. Because I got really into that when I was eating Caesar salads in Europe. In France, they put egg in it. I love. Yeah, I was really getting into I'm getting into the salad. So I'm having at least twice a week sometimes maybe 3 times a week. I have salad for lunch. Look at me getting the green vegetables. I know, Ciara. I hear you. I'm just, I am not good with what is it, flora? Or was it flora and fauna? I understand fauna pretty well, which is animals, but wild plants and stuff. No, I'm a complete idiot. If I had to survive in the wild, do you know how long I would last? A day. Like I'd make it one day in the wild. I would start starving to death and collapse because I probably wouldn't even be able to find water. So, yeah, I love watching survival stuff, but I wouldn't make it a second. So, I will check out places, Joe, that, yeah, probably little coffee shops, bakeries, little places. Yeah. Now, I just want to give you guys a heads up on the other channel, though. Like when I go into Amish country and stuff, you have to be very considerate and you do not film Amish people without their consent. So I will have to be very careful about filming people, but filming stuff, filming like, buildings, buggies, things like that, as long as I'm not catching people in them. Yeah, you'll see a lot of that. I don't know what you mean by that, Teffy. I just know I would never survive in the wild. I have it's not that I don't know what to do. I used to watch that show Survivor Man with Les Stroud. He was so good. And I watched that guy survive with he brought like 5 things with him and survived in the wild for 7 days. I was like, if you've never watched Survivor Man, much better than Bear Grylls or any other person that ever did it. And you can still see his videos on YouTube. And he is a survival god, let me tell you. And I've watched all that stuff. I know what you're supposed to do, but knowing what you're supposed to do and being able to do it are 2 different things. Yes, Bonnie, exactly. It's not, well, you know what, as an anthropologist, you learn this very quickly, is that anytime you go into any other culture, you never know how people are going to react to being filmed. And so you always err on the side of, asking permission, which is still can be, that's a little dicey to me to even just have to add. To me, that just seems rude to be asking an Amish person, like, can I take your picture? Can I video you? Like, it's like they're, like they're an attraction or something. And they're people. They're people. So, but I really have respect for that culture. So I'm going to be very careful about how I film. Waterman, yes, Survivor Man with Les Stroud, original survival show. And he almost died a couple times on those expeditions. He didn't talk about that till later, but there was one he did in Africa that he said in retrospect, it literally almost killed him. And Joe, it's called Elder Gal Explores. Explores with an S. Oh, yeah, Native Americans. I was very aware of that because I lived in Arizona a long time, in northern Arizona. And yeah, you don't ever film people well, historically, but I mean, I'm sure it's still true today. You don't film without permission. So, yeah. But unfortunately, in this day of, social media and people filming everything, I just wonder how many, YouTubers are being really offensive to people out there. It's kind of sad, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Ileana, I know. I was even careful about that. You guys know that. I was careful about that even in Europe and in France because when I went over there, I was reading about it and it said that, generally in France, people are not as happy to be filmed like you might be in the US or something. And so I was even fairly careful over there. So Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I eat out. I'll definitely film my food. Oh, yeah, I remember the grape nuts commercial with Yul Gibbons, and he died of colon cancer, is the irony of that. Supposedly, grape nuts was supposed to be so good for you. I don't know, maybe he didn't actually eat them all the time. Oh, Europat says we even have a channel, and I was aggravated when someone was filming us yesterday. Yeah, you really just wanna ask someone. Some people don't have a problem with it, but you really have to get into the habit of asking. But I've never been into the last time I was even in Amish country at all was in I've never been to the, Ohio Amish country, but in Pennsylvania, we used to go when I was growing up, and of course, I didn't even take pictures back then of that, but, because we just had, like, a Kodak Instamatic camera, but, but I remember people telling me that in advance, like saying, "Oh, don't film them, don't take a photo of them without their permission." So that's been a long-standing thing, and it's about respect. It's just about respect for other people. I think they do still make grape nuts. I don't eat it, but they make. I know, Sierra, I find that strange that there's TV shows with the Amish in them. I haven't seen any of those, but yeah, yeah, I don't know. I know you did, Teffy. I was just very cautious. I did do street I mean, I did film street scenes, but I tried to do it in such a way that you really couldn't really see people really well, like you couldn't, see their faces really well and stuff. So, now, when I was at Rick, that's interesting in Kansas, I did read that I did not know this, that Ohio has the largest Amish community, total, like largest number of Amish in the country. And I was like, what? I thought it was in Pennsylvania. Apparently, it's in Ohio. And there's lots of towns in and around there. I mean, I made a list of the towns I had to go to, and I couldn't believe how many towns are in that, geographic zone where it's considered Amish country in Ohio. So, yeah, that's where I've been, Zaza, was Lancaster County in Pennsylvania. I thought that was kind of the biggest area, but it's not. Apparently, Ohio is. Yeah. So, go figure. Anyway, I'm going to be really careful. And the nice thing about my Osmo, the Osmo camera I use, is that it's so chill. It doesn't look obviously like a camera. You're just holding this thing and you're not putting it up to your eye or anything. You're just kind of holding it as you walk along. And it's so small that I don't even think a lot of people realize it's a camera. It's kind of so I haven't felt that self-conscious about walking with it on the street or anything in case, somebody passes by or something. So, yeah, is that it, Waterman? Waterman says it was Pennsylvania, but Ohio's been growing steadily. Yeah, I think that's because when I was in this a kid in the 60s, I was sure it was Pennsylvania that had more Amish than anywhere else. So, now one thing I've always been used to is Mennonites. Where I used to live in California, there was a large Mennonite community outside of town, and they'd always be coming in and shopping at Walmart or Safeway or whatever. And so I'm used to seeing Mennonites, but Mennonites a little less private, and they drive cars and they have electricity and all that. So and we even have Mennonites I've seen here where I'm living here, that come into the stores and they're driving and stuff like that. But it is different down in the Amish communities because the people that really live that lifestyle, they're not driving cars, they're not using electricity. So, and I mean, I have a lot of respect for that, honestly. I mean, I know there's problems in all communities and I know they have issues in there. I believe me, I've heard the whole scandal stuff. of things that happen. But I still really, I do have respect for a community that wants to live a very basic lifestyle like generations of people have lived. And you know what? When we lose our power grid, guess who's going to be laughing last or laughing first? Maybe. I guess laughing first. Yeah. The people. I tell you, with the way things are happening in the world right now, it really makes me want to live in a tiny house off grid, away from everything, providing for myself like that. I'm really capable of doing that, but that's what it makes me want to do because it scares me what's happening. Cheryl, thank you. Yes, let's get the likes up. Let's get to 170 if we can. Come on. We can do it. Oh, Zaza shares that her great grandmother was a Mennonite. She was the White Witch of Snyder County, healed people with a powwow. Interesting. Huh. I assume you did not know her since she was your great grandmother. Yeah. Yeah, there's Mennonites pretty much everywhere. I mean, you'll see them in a lot more places in the country than you would people who are Amish. So, because again, they don't need as large a community. They use modern conveniences, so it's not as big a deal. Ciara, you're funny. Yeah. If any of you ever remember the movie with Harrison Ford where he has to hide in the Amish among the Amish, because the police are after him, and I forget the name of that movie. You guys know which one, know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that was an interesting movie. That came out in the 90s, I think, early 90s, something like that. So John, it's interesting you say that. One of the towns I was looking up that I'm going to go to, you can actually get a ride in a horse and buggy. They give rides to tourists on their horses and buggies. And I thought, hey, I've never done that. If they have a step stool so I can get up there, I would do that. Yes, that's it. Witness. Yes, absolutely. That was a good movie, actually. A very interesting movie. And I love, that movie. We're going to wrap it up here in a second. But that movie, Witness, has one of the best scenes in any movie I've ever witnessed because of the editing of it was so magnificent. It's the scene where they're doing the barn raising in the middle of that movie. And I got to tell you, it's an editing marvel. If you know anything about editing and stuff and how you kind of weave together the music and the sequences and stuff, that was an incredible scene. And there's hardly any speaking in it. And it goes on for a few minutes. That's just a great scene, the barn raising. So if you haven't seen it, rewatch Witness. You're right. Well, only if they have a stool. Do you remember the story how when I was in Perpignan, I went and tried to ride the tram? Well, I did ride the tram, but I had a heck of a time getting in the tram because they didn't they didn't bring out a stool for me to step up into it. And so I couldn't get up in there. Like still don't remember how I actually got in there. I did. I finally got up in the tram, but so yeah, unless they have a stool thing I can step on to get up into the buggy, it's not happening. What did I teach? Jose asked. I taught community college. I taught anthropology, and I taught psychology because I have two different master's degrees. So that's what I taught. I taught several different courses in psychology, and then I taught 2 or 3 different courses in anthropology. So been a while though. I mean, I haven't taught in like 10 years. So all right, well, I think we'll wrap it up for today. It is getting much darker out there. We got thunderstorm on its way. I got to hunker down. I'm definitely not going outside right now. I can tell you that. So thanks for being here. Let me just remind you to please watch my video. It's coming out tomorrow. Think you'll be interested. And then we'll see you next Saturday's live stream. And then I'll have a Elder Gal video out Wednesday and an Elder Gal Explores video out Thursday. So please, when you go watch them, hit the like button and share it out, hype it. If you have hype points, hype it, do anything we can. I'm very happy with how my video did that came out Wednesday, and you guys were all part of that. So thank you very much. I've gotten over 15,000 views now on that, which is better than I've done. I think I had one other video about a month ago that got 14,000 views, but yeah, that's going in the right direction again. So, thank you all for being here today. Yes, thank you to everyone. Hope you have a wonderful week. I hope the world does okay this next week, and we're still here to have another live stream next Saturday. That would be great. Is that hoping too much? I don't think so. Anyway, I'll be just going out one day for expedition on Monday. So the rest of the time, I'm just going to be doing a lot of administrative editing, filming close by home and that sort of thing. So I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Yes, I do like a good flea market. Although I can't buy anything though, but I do like seeing them. So yeah, CR, I hear you. Anyway, take care, everyone. Be good humans. I know all of you are good humans that are on here. Come on. So be a good human. Take care. Bye.